Good morning, guys. So we're sitting in the Rogator, 1300C here. We got to put some loads on it. So I thought we'd just do a little bit of a summary. Are you guys cool with that? Okay. So let's do a walk around first. We got a bit of a rain out here today. Actually, it wasn't today. We had a gigantic storm right over my wedding. Video to come about that later, so I won't talk about that. But anyway, we got the 132-foot Millennium booms, 1,300-gallon tank, 380 tires. This particular model or unit does not have the chem inductor, but that is an option you can put on. It does have the recirculating booms. It does have the boom recovery. It does not have the washer. Apparently that's an option, from what I'm told. LED lights all the way around. Eco motor. I think it's like I want to say it's 360 something, 370, somewhere in that area. It actually has got quite a bit of jam. All right. Correction, the base horsepower is 339. It will bulge to 370, that's where I was getting that from, and it is an 8.4 liter engine. Now we got that settled. All right, and it weighs about 32,000 pounds, something like that. All right, now we got that settled. I like the walkway. You got a sight tube. I always like a good sight tube. Got another sight tube back there. I actually have no idea why you'd have a sight tube at the back of your tank facing this way. Unless you're no, you would still look at this one. No, I don't know. But anyway, you can walk through back here. Not sure how often you would use this, but you do kind of come to this valve sometime, depending on what flow, if you're looking for high volume or low volume, just so you know. And if you're doing a system recovery, I think you got to shut one of these, shut this valve or something. I can't remember now. It's been a long time since I did a system recovery. LED lights up there. Okay, that's the cap. You got this right here. I'm gonna put my coffee mug down here. It stays there. You got this little buddy seat. Oh, hold on. A little buddy seat there. And then you can't flip this down with your buddy seat up, so you gotta reach back here, pop this little thing, drops that down. Now you got your coffee mug holder. Not really sure, little odds and ends stuff. Seat, heated and cooled. Okay, so let me get coordinated here. Since we're talking about the cab now, not a real big fan of the cab. I find the cab to be kind of small. You do not have a lot of room here for your buddy seat. Like I said before, anybody you might want here, hopefully she's your fiance or a really close friend, like I said in the last video, because it is tight. They're just about sitting on your lap. Why? Because we've already experienced this. Lap sitting, not the most enjoyable. You got your, I always swing around, hit my elbow. I don't like that. That's like the John Deere RX. Except I think this is closer than the John Deere RX. Not a fan of that. You got your tires in and out right there. We was informed that these are our sectional controls, so you got 5 on 130. I would like to see a little bit more than that, to be honest. The case has 7 on a 120. And then I think they have 7 on a 130. So I would like to see a few more sections. Those are some pretty stinking big sections. So basically this is your outer, inner, center, inner, outer. And then you got your fence row nozzles here, and no one uses foam markers anymore, so that's what that's about. On the other hand, I really do like this joystick. I like the shuttle. It's just like the Combine joystick. I'm not a fan of the layout, to be honest. This is like the Apache, where you got your right boom up, right boom down, left boom up, left boom down. Exact same setup as the layout as the Apache sprayer. I like the Apache sprayer one better because it's nice soft buttons and they're easier to push. This is kind of I'm not gonna hit it, but they're kind of clunky. Like you actually gotta hit them pretty good. And then your cradle up, down, and then I guess sideways or whatnot. You got your headland control, which I never use. You got your auto steer, your product master, stop, and then you got cruise 1, cruise 2, cruise 1, cruise 2. Okay, you guys got all that? Take this thing off, throw it away. I'm not a fan of that. I do like the Raven, except I would have the Hawkeye. I'd have it all integrated inside. The only downside to that is you do lose a chunk of your mapping. Like in the Apache there, you do lose a chunk of your Apache. The reason why I keep referencing the Apache sprayer is because it had the Raven system with Hawkeye and all that fun stuff, and with the new boom XTR or RXT or whatever the heck it's called, I can never remember, as well. Now, speaking of that, the auto boom, I really do like the auto boom. It's super fast. I do believe the Amazon auto boom is still faster. Just throwing that out there. Don't hate on me. What else was I gonna say about the boom? Oh yeah, this is the Millennium booms. On the Apache sprayer, the 120 foot I ran was the Palme booms. I don't know if I really have a preference, to be honest with you. So, both good booms. You got your boom control here, inners and outers. They're locked unless you push the button. I do like to have throttle control. I'm not a fan of like the John Deere where it has buttons. I like to have full throttle control. I want to be in control of this operation, all right? You got your, basically in the Fendt, this is your, what do you call that? Your Eco, shoot, I'm a loss for words, but you guys know what I mean. So you hit that, and then it will just give you your RPMs as you need it, as in the other video. I could take that or leave it, to be quite honest with you. Your road mode, park brake. I do believe this is your... Now I can't remember. I know what these are. But you know what? The day has been early. Okay, so then this is your sump. So, not a big fan of this because I always forget to turn this on. This is just basically your sump valve. So I always hook the hose to the side of the sprayer and start loading, and my hose just pressures right up, and I'm like, what the heck? Oh, frick, I forgot to turn the sump valve on. So, not a fan of that because I always keep forgetting it. Maybe if I was running it all the time, I would always remember, but as of right now, I keep forgetting. This is your pump. This gets it to your booms. This is your recirculation, so on and so forth. Booms, yeah. If you don't even use this, this is for dry box, okay? Okay. Now, the brake, I was told that it was like a case brake that you stop on this puppy and you're coming right to a stop, and then other people told me that it's a 2-stage, that you can gently use it or you can stomp on it depending. So let's just try it out right now. Alright, I'm gonna just gently touch it. It still brings you to a stop. It doesn't lock them up, but it still brings you to a stop. Let's go again. And then we're gonna stomp on it. Alright. That will lock up all your wheels. Let's get going again here. We're doing 10 mile an hour, 12 mile an hour. I'm gonna get going a little bit faster here, and I'm gonna just gently, I'm gonna put my foot here just for my own brace, because I don't have my seatbelt on. Safety first. I'm just gonna touch it, 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 just gonna, okay, you can just gently feather it to bring yourself to a stop. So do this again. Feather it, feather it, feather it, feather it, feather it. Oh, not too much. Not too much. So, now you guys get the idea. So that works, providing that you don't hit a bump while you're braking for your as you're overshooting your approach or something like that. Or maybe you're coming up to your washout and you're like, oh, feather it, feather it, feather it, feather it, and you hit a badger hole, you're coming to a stop. Like I'm telling you, it's very sensitive. So take that as you will. Now, let's talk about something else. The sound system is not good. I would rate it one step better than a case because you actually have the speakers on the outside of the liner. But it's not a good sound system at all. This monitor, it's alright. This is what we have in the fence, so I know my way around it pretty good. I really do like that I have a backup camera, and it also triggers when you back up. So I do like that. Now, as far as this dash, yeah, no. Just no. It looks like, I'm not trying to bash anything because that's not what I do, but it looks like they cut this thing out of a chemical tote. Like it just looks really crude. I'm just throwing that out there. I like to see something to cover up the steel posts. I like to see something to cover up the steel here. You got steel back here. You got just really rough plastic on it. Like it really looks like you cut it out of a chemical tote. There's nothing sleek about it. There's nothing fancy about it. It just looks like the Apache had a nicer inside. And it's like $250,000 less. Just gonna leave that right there. Alright. When saying that, guys, I really do like the full system recovery. That is freaking awesome. You can go in here and you can do your steps for your rinse tank, and if you want to tap that, then it will walk you through what you need to do, and then you just hit the check mark and so on and so forth, and then whatever you want to do. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't use the whole rinse tank, rinse plumbing, rinse nozzle stuff. I don't like steps, procedures. You fail one, it aborts mission. Not saying it would do that. Typically that's how things work. Not a big fan. I think we're overcomplicating some stuff. Like I always say, let's keep it simple. Shave a few $1,000s off the sprayer. Awesome possums. I just throw my all clear, throw my finish in the rinse tank, open up the valve at the bottom of the sprayer to get it to go to the product tank, hit my rinse tank on the side of the sprayer, and I just do it manually. And then I just go to a flat open surface, and I have to put in a test speed. This is the only one to my knowledge that I have to put in a test speed. At least the ones that I have driven so far. I've run the Pantera, the Apache, and so on and so forth. You have to put in a test speed. I always forget to put in the test speed, and then it won't spray. It won't spray unless you put in a test speed into your monitor. And then I just spray it out and I'm done. Okay? I'm going to leave that the rest of the way how it is. But I'm a big fan of the full system recovery and a big fan of the recirculating booms. That way I can pull one product out of my booms, put a new product in my tank, recirculate it so I'm ready to rock and roll. That eliminates like a 20 or 25 gallon spray out that you would have to do somewhere, because if you don't do that, you just have water, you just cleaned out, you just have water and finish in your booms. You might have chemical in your tank, but you just have water in your booms. You're going to go boom out, you're going to go about a quarter mile, probably at the most. You're going to go a quarter mile, and it's going to keep trickling out. It's going to hit your center first, and it's going to go out and out and out, and your end tips are going to be the last thing that they're going to see product, because it makes sense, right? It's got to push all the way out there. Recirculating booms, you just hit that button, and it's just cycling, it's just cycling, it's just like, you just leave it on for however long you want. You think it's good enough, you turn it off, and you go spraying, and you don't have that, so that's an awesome pro. I do like that. Alright guys, so let's talk ride and cab noise, okay? So ride is number one. Let's talk ride. Ride, now, it's not just me who's run this sprayer. I've run this sprayer. Mark, who's run the John Deere and the Patriots, has also run this sprayer. Ashton has run this sprayer, and Brian has run this sprayer, my younger brother. So 4 people. I don't just run, I'm not the only one doing this. I'm the only one in the video typically, but I'm not the only one operating this equipment. That way it's not just my opinion, I'm taking their opinions as well and combining it all together. So, everybody agrees that the Rogator is very bouncy or floaty, whatever you want to call it. It's still pretty smooth, but it's very floaty. I personally am not a big fan of the floatiness. Brian didn't think it was that smooth of a sprayer to begin with. Mark wasn't sure if it was he thinks the Deere is smoother. We feel like it's bouncy, it's okay as long as you're bouncing. But if you hit like a big jar, then it goes kabang. Like then it's like very violent bang. You know what I mean? So I feel like if you're just on like going across drill ridges and stuff, you know, you get that stuff, that vibrating. Yeah, it's quite smooth in those areas. But when you get to like a washout or something where you're gonna drop and then it's kabang. So I don't know. That's all I got for you. For loudness, I think we're splitting hairs, because like I think it's very similar to the Apache, and yet it's very similar to the John Deere 4060. I think only you guys could actually tell me that, because I'm the one taking a video in something when it's wide open. So you would have to reference back to the video with the Apache, to the video with this one. I have not done a video on the John Deere yet. Heck, I don't even know if I'm going to get to be quite honest with you, but that's a whole other video in itself. Yeah, like, that's wide open. Like, it's not bad. We can't remember. Like, we don't think it's bad, but we can't remember. So I think we're just gonna leave that one as maybe a draw. So you guys can tell us that. Obviously, it's not ridiculous, because if we would be like, oh yeah, that thing is ridiculously loud. No, it's not. It's not like that at all. So it's an awesome sprayer. I feel like this thing is built robust. You know what I mean? Like, it's built robust. That's what I feel. It's kind of crude inside the cab. Probably one of the no, the Pantera I think was probably cruder, but anyway. Now, when you're talking about sprayer cab noise, the Pantera I do believe wins, even though the engine was right behind the cab. It was just super quiet in there, no hydro whine. The Patriots are known to be quiet because the engine's behind your tank yet, but typically Patriots have a little bit of hydro whine, at least ours do. So I think the Pantera still wins for quietest, followed closely to a Patriot, and then probably the Rogator, John Deere, and Apache are all very similar, all very close to each other. Obviously, the Apache, in my opinion, is still a rougher sprayer. The Rogator is smoother. Now, how does the Rogator for a ride compare to the John Deere? Mark thought it was very similar until maybe you hit something a little that's a bit of a drop and it's more violent. That's all I got for you. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope it was informative. I'm not bashing. I never bash. I do not tolerate bashing. If you're gonna bash, you guys just unsubscribe from my channel. I do not like that. I love all the colors. I like driving all the colors. I own quite a few different brands of colors. So yeah. Thanks, guys. Oh yeah, one thing. This particular unit has the C channel. I do believe it's one of the only sprayers with a C channel, like a pickup. It can twist better going up the washouts or going up a ditch. Maybe you want to go up a ditch, it can twist better than, say, a tubing will. So that's kind of cool. This thing has a ridiculous amount of grease nipples on it. It should have an auto greaser for the price that you're paying for this thing. This thing is around, I do believe, 6 1/4, 6. It's more than a Patriot anyway. It's more than a Patriot. It's where it does have the all-wheel drive. The Deere has the all-wheel drive where it will start sending oil to a different tire. A Patriot will go up a ditch and it would just spin that outside tire like this. Where this one, you can literally feel it. You can literally feel it kicking oil from one side to the other. The Deere's the same way. So that is cool. All right, let's go over some pros and cons real quick here before I lose all you guys to falling asleep. All right, guys. Let's go over some pros and cons. Con number 1 is the size of the cab. The cab is small. Like, if you want to take your a passenger with you, they're basically riding on your lap. So, not a big fan of that. And I always hit this window back here. Your window is very close to you, okay? It's not a very big cab. Con number 2 is the material and quality that they put into their cab. You shouldn't see steel all over the place, corner posts. Your dash should not look like they cut it out of a def tote. Okay? Sorry, a chemical tote, not a def tote. It's thick plastic. Not a fan. Con number 3, again, we're staying with the cab. Sound system. Case has the worst sound system until they come out with their new cabs. Maybe you're in the US, maybe you're in Europe, you already got the new cabs. That's awesome. I'm sure they did a really good job. But on all their older cabs, even all the way up to 2020 models here in Canada, their speakers are inside the headliner. They do not have a good sound system. This one is only one step above just because they put the speakers on the outside of the headliner. Why do I put so much into a sound system? Because you spend 16 to 18 freaking hours a day in this thing. You spend $600,000+ and you shouldn't have to wear headphones for some sort of quality sound. Come on, people. Come on. Now, saying that again, con number, I think it was a 3, are we 3, 4? I don't remember. The corner post, our friend, is right where the tip of the boom. You either got to go back or you got to go this way. Now, I understand you have to have a corner post somewhere. Put it over here. Put it over here somewhere because you're always looking over here. You're not looking back here. Don't put it over here. You need it farther back. That's where you need it, okay? All right. The other con is you don't have enough sections on your boom. Even if this was a 120 boom, 5 is not enough. Okay, those are gigantic sections. Like, that's a lot of waste. And you're like, well, Mike, how come it's so much waste? Because we're spraying with a whole pile of different colored sprayers out there because we run John Deere and we had Apache out there, the Pantera out there. We're going to have Case out there. Not everything can be shared through Raven because we use multiple different systems. That's too big because I have to turn off when they're going around a rock pile or a slough, and it's just waste. That's all it is. Waste equals money. We're spending enough money. I want 10 sections. Mount a toggle thing down there like on the bottom of the Apache so I can go pop, 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 or at least make it an option because maybe you don't want that. All right. Where's my fridge? I'm gonna pick on everybody. Anytime you're spending $500,000 or $600,000, doesn't matter what color it is. Where's my fridge? That brand new 4060 John Deere sprayer does not have a freaking fridge. It's the same cab as on their 9620s. They're quad tracks. They can't call them quad track. 4-track. Same cab. Exact same cab. They didn't put a fridge in it. What the crap? Anyway, don't get me going on that. Case, where's my fridge? I want fridges. Holy cow. I gotta stop. Sorry guys, I had to take a bit of a moment there. I had to take a time out. Oh man, because I was like, where the frick is my fridges? Because the John Deere 4-tracks have a fridge and it's the exact same cab. John Deere's the only one that has the exact same cab in all their equipment except their combines. And yet they're like, you know what? You spend $700,000 on that sprayer. Go to Canadian Tire and buy yourself a little 12-folder. I can get through this without another timeout. Anyway, so con number 6 would be the fridge, and that's a con on any color. I'm not picking on it. I'm picking on them all here, okay? Now, let's do some pros. Guys, I'm losing my voice, and that's not a good thing. I'm losing my voice. Pro number 1. Pro number 1 is the full system recovery. That is freaking awesome. I already told you guys I like that. Pro number 2 is that I have my recirculating booms. Again, freaking awesome. Pro number 3. Sorry, guys, I'm gonna lose my voice here pretty soon. Hold it together, Mike. Pro number 3 is that it has all-wheel drive. It's always sending oil to your other wheel, and you can actually feel that while you're spinning. We almost got stuck with this thing a couple times, so you can literally feel that. So that is definitely a pro. So that's pro number 3. Pro number 4 is I like the shuttle. I like this joystick. Like, I'm not a big fan of the layout, but I definitely like the shuttle joystick. I like that, like the button on the back. Very familiar with that. I'm not sure if I like this layout yet. Now, this is just my own personal. I prefer a boom here and a boom here, but like the Patriots. But anyway, and I'm not a big fan of this plastic. Oh, that means it's another con. Con number 7. Why isn't all this lit up? This is the same con as I have in my Ideal combines. They have lights around here, but they don't have any of this lit up with the light in behind. Like that's, like, what is this? Cheap plastic? Come on, guys, put some freaking lights in these things. I've already told them that about the Ideal combines. We need lights in these things so they can light it up. I don't want to have to rely on this little goofy thing, all right? Okay. Pro number, where are we now? 5? Are we at Pro 5? I don't even remember. You can get a 1,600 gallon tank on this. It's only 13, but you can get a 1,600 gallon tank. I don't believe they changed anything to the horsepower or they restructured anything. I do believe they just stretched the tank. Could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they just stretched the tank and then charge you a little bit more for it. Pro number 6 is that it will do about 36 miles an hour down the road empty. Con number 7, 8, I don't know where we're at anymore, is that it limits you to 25 mile an hour down there loaded. Now, I'm told that there's ways around that. But you shouldn't have to go around that. You shouldn't have to go around that. My quad track almost goes faster than that. I'm pulling a freaking drill. Holy cow, don't tell me the tires are going to heat up. Every other sprayer, that the Apache almost says 40 miles an hour. Come on, you guys. 25. Oh, and I should mention 2 more pros. It's got pretty good jam. The power to weight ratio is pretty good. Pretty happy with that. I'm not on one con. I don't think it's not nearly as balanced as like a Patriot sprayer. I really like a Patriot sprayer balanced. I think they told me it was a 65, 45, 75. Anyway, it's not a 50-50. I like to see sprayers at 50-50. So it's still back heavy. And it would even be heavier back heavy when you put a 1,600 gallon tank on there. So that's even more concerning. So that has to go as a con against it. Just like a John Deere would also be back heavy. That's a con in my books because we're always being stuck with them when they're like this, all right? Another pretty significant pro is the warranty. Probably the largest pro for this sprayer is their warranty. Service and warranty. You can buy the extended egg coat protection program. This is not a plug to them. This is not a promote for them. This is just a fact of life. This is one of the reasons why we switched to Ideal Combines, is because it's warranted in our yard. You could probably do a 5-year, 5,000 on this thing right off the top of my head. I think you can even extend it, go farther, even more hours. And that's bumper to bumper in your yard. No service calls. That is huge for us. Huge for us. $1,500 to get a service call. So that is a game changer. And again, that just might be for us. If you're living close to a metropolis, you don't give a crap about that. But for us, that's a big deal. All right, guys. So I'm going to conclude. I think all these sprayers are worth way too freaking much money. All right, there is more money made on sprayers than I think than any other piece of equipment. All right, they're just charging whatever the market can bear. Now, with saying that, this is a great sprayer. All right, the Apache was a great sprayer. The Pantera, it's got a little work to do. I haven't got on the 4060 yet. I hope to. I don't know if I'm ever going to. I might have to demo one. But I'm sure that is a great sprayer over there. I'm sure it's a great sprayer. I've put thousands and thousands of hours on the Patriot sprayer. Great sprayers. I'm hoping to get a Trident down here and try that one and compare them all. And maybe at the end of the season, we'll have a sprayer shootout where we'll maybe gather some of the people, because it's not just me, there's other people running these sprayers, giving me their feedback, giving me their opinions, and maybe we'll have like an overall, in our opinion, of the sprayer of, say, 2020, okay? We don't bash equipment. I do not tolerate that. I remain unbiased. I own Agco, I own John Deere, and I own Case, all right? And the Apache probably surprised us the most, to be quite honest with you, just due to its price tag is far more reasonable than all these other ones. So, and again, you always have to remember that what might work for me might not work for you, and what might work for you might actually not work for me at all, all right? For around here, we need road speed. We need warranty. It costs us $1,500 to get a service call out here. We need, we're looking for creature comforts. We're putting 16, 18 hours a day in these things. We spend all summer in these things, and the price that you pay, that should automatically come standard. A fridge should come standard. Awesome sound system should come standard on every sprayer, including the Apache. Quietness in the cab should come standard. Heated and cooled seats, awesome lumbar support should come standard, all right? These things should all come freaking standard for anything over $150,000. I can go buy a $95,000 pickup truck and have massage seats, heated and cooled, awesome subwoofers, and you're spending ridiculously amounts of money on this equipment, and they just put mediocre stuff, borderline crappy stuff in here, and then they're like, well, you can get that as an option. We'll just charge you an extra $5,000 for the deluxe cab option, and it will give you about 150 watt sound system. That's ridiculous. That is just freaking ridiculous. All right, you're not going to go buy a $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 house and have just, well, we decided not to put the carpet in or any hardwood in. We're just going to leave the plywood on the floor just due to, you could buy that for another option if you would like to. You're not going to spend that $700,000 on a house, $500,000 on a house, and not put any carpet in or any drywall up. Well, we thought that we should leave that as an option. No, that should come standard in your house. Okay? Okay. Now, I do not pick on equipment, I pick on them all. I remain unbiased. I appreciate you guys for following me, supporting me. Thank you for Full Line ACO for bringing this thing down here, letting us run it. Thank you for Canada Harvest Center for bringing down the Apache, all the other equipment companies. Rocky for bringing down the quad track. I'm hoping to get a Trident down here from Rocky. So I will hopefully run a Trident yet. Maybe at the end of the year we'll do a bit of a shoot off and give it to an our opinion. Remember, this is just our opinion, okay? All right. You guys have yourself a good one.